That's definitely something that we learned from the weekend. We also learned the way the media reacts to things. Certainly when Caitlin Clark's involved, a lot of us lose our minds and heads. And the WNBA weekend for the All-Star game in Indiana did not feature Caitlin Clark on the court, but did feature her name as one of the teams on the court. It's just like the NBA. They allowed two players to choose their teams. It was Team Collier versus Team Clark. Nafisa Collier choosing one team and Caitlin Clark choosing another. And on Collier's team was one of her teammates from the Minnesota Lynx, Courtney Williams. I believe Asia Wilson was on that team. Kelsey Plum was on that team. Sabrina Ionescu was on Team Clark. At any rate, the All-Star Weekend, really, the stars of the All-Star Weekend really weren't the All-Stars, but the Stud Buds. There they are on the screen, Courtney Williams.
Court.
And Natisha Heidemann.
T. Court and T.
They are teammates on the Minnesota Lynx. Courtney Williams was on Team Collier, so Nafisa Collier chose her teammate to be on Team Collier. But anyway, the Stud Buds were all-stars of Twitch. Now, I'm not on Twitch a lot. And by a lot, I mean ever.
Yeah, hardly ever.
Okay, because that's for, I know I'm going to really age myself here. Are you on Twitch?
I am not.
Okay.
I've DJ'd on Twitch.
You have?
He has, yeah.
Okay.
So I have a Twitch account to watch him, actually.
So you're the most Twitch-verse?
Nah, it's a lot of gaming on Twitch.
Yeah,
It's a lot of gaming.
A lot of gaming.
Yeah,
that's why I'm,
exactly. A lot of gaming on Twitch.
I don't have my own gaming chair.
Maybe
they're comfortable, Rich.
Let's get into it.
We did look into Twitch as a spot for the Rich Eisen Show to line up at years and years and years ago.
I actually thought we were
made it
seem like we were going to go to Twitch. Yeah.
We were very twitchy.
Yeah.
But it never happened.
Didn't happen.
But
we had bigger plans.
How many hours in a row did they? Was it like 72?
Like
3 days in a row. It was a party.
It was a party,
and
man.
everyone's stopping by. I guess Portnoy's coming on the program.
Everybody was there.
72 hours in a row. Everyone was there. But that's what was going on.
They turned it out.
They're one of the all-stars of the All-Star Weekend. And another star, I guess, is whoever made up the Pay Us What You Owe Us t-shirts, apparently last minute. I don't know, because
seems like it.
It was something everyone's talking about. Pay us what you owe us. Everybody was warming up for the All-Star game, including, I guess, Coach Clark, wearing Pay Us What You Owe Us. The Players Association and the WNBA had a meeting together. A lot of the players showed up. It didn't work out great. Certainly, if the response is, let's wear T-shirts when all the cameras are on us at the biggest event we've got mid-season and wear the Pay Us What You Owe Us. And we had Christine Brennan on yesterday's program. She appeared on last week's Women's Sports Now to talk about what's going down here and the equitable pay. Forget about men versus women, just what the WNBA appears to be reaping in with future television contracts and how much these new franchises are going for and how much is trickling down to the, players and all-stars. So after the all-star game, Kelsey Plum of Team Collier, sitting next to Sabrina Ionescu of Team Clark, was asked in the press conference, where did the T-shirts come from? What's the genesis, the origin of the T-shirts? And here was her response.
The T-shirt, just United Front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just, we had a very...
that really needed to be mentioned.
I'm trying to make a situation light, okay?
So the way this was taken is that one of the big-time stars of the WNBA is calling out Caitlin Clark for having nothing to do with this or whatever. But people were like, Plum's taking shots at Caitlin Clark. And Sabrina Ionescu's response was, I don't think we really need to be throwing Caitlin Clark under the bus here. But apparently, Ramona Shelburne, one of the many to report this as well, the reason why Team Clark wasn't there and what she's referencing is that it was an early morning meeting, and most of Team Clark, if not all, that was not there, including New York Liberty's finest sitting to her right, not being there, is because they were apparently partied out from the stud buds. If not, you want to just yada, 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 maybe a little bit too hungover to be there.
I saw some Henny flowing.
Which is why Ionescu is basically saying, I don't think you need to share that. You don't need to call out in an inside joke that apparently didn't land. But it's so telling that everybody's like, oh, here's another moment where Caitlin Clark is disliked.
But no.
As opposed to basically like saying, hey,
we was getting it in
with the stud buds.
We was getting it in
like the rest of America sitting at home twitching, unlike we weren't twitching. At any rate,
Rich, there was a moment which you probably didn't see this. Like I said, I watched way too much of this. There was one moment where Caitlin was in a Luka situation. Mm-hmm. Remember when Michael Finley came up, took the beer away from Luka?
Yes.
There was one moment, the stud buzz, I think Courtney was pulling Caitlin into the camera, the phone, and Caitlin had some type of drink, and you see Aaliyah Boston just come over and snatch the drink, and like Caitlin's holding it, and Aleah's like, nope, give it here. And then Caitlin comes over.
It's good teammates. It's good teammate work. Good fever work. So instead of the fever, apparently their heads were pounding over something else. Well, at any rate, so the reaction just being so crazy from so many people, just do yourselves a favor and Google Kelsey Plum and Caitlin Clark and whatever, and you'll see it's all like Plum crushing Caitlin Clark and Clark firing back on an Instagram post and all of this stuff, and apparently none of it is the case.
People like to jump to conclusions.
Many of our members of the media went all in on it, so I guess the reaction to the reaction is what Women's Sports Now is providing. Okay. Available on the latest edition of Women's Sports Now on Roku. This is what they had to say.
Now, the reason why we wanted to bring this up, and I think it's really important, guys, is how things can get misconstrued, how misinformation can be sent across. And a lot of people in the mainstream media made it sound as though she was taking a shot at Caitlin Clark, and she wasn't. In fact, she was just talking about the fact that they'd all been out drinking all night, and this meeting was at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes.
And some of the women did not show up. There were myriad people who mentioned this, but one of them really bothered me, and it was Colin Cowherd on his show by saying the following quote: "You went to a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town. You went from that to a Four Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking." And then later in the clip, he went on to say, "It's time to grow up, girls. Like fast."
Oh, no.
Now, can you imagine if I were sitting here or sitting on the Rich Eisen Show set over there and I referred to the NBA players as boys?
Yeah.
I think that's what really hit me hard.
Yeah.
I just found it demeaning.
Insulting.
Derogatory.
Colin Cowherd insulting?
What? No, come on, what?
Yeah, I mean, don't let the clips fool you. When they say it's a sisterhood, it really is. Like, I feel like there were a ton of times where on the court, we would go at it. I mean, you might think Diana Taurasi would hate me, like the way that we played against each other, but these are homies off the court. And I think that's kind of what social media now, podcasting, and even live streaming is doing. Like, you get to actually see people's real interactions and not the interactions that were manipulated for the internet.
I think we all know that if you say someone attacked Caitlin Clark, it gets clicks. So that's exactly what people are out there doing. But I mean, I'm a comedian and I was like, that was a joke. It just didn't work.
Everything isn't drama. Everything isn't that serious. I saw AT and Angel Reese reenacting the headlock. I saw them reenacting that at the game. I remember on the internet, that was a big deal when it happened on the internet. And then you got them at All-Star Game, doing their WWE impressions with each other. It's really never that serious.
No.
It's It's never that serious.
Lighthearted moment, clearly, and it's just like, oh, another opportunity to pit women against other women. It's
women
like,
on women violence. Not cool.
We've seen it before, and we'll see it again, probably, unfortunately.
Latest episode of Women's Sports Now. Renee Montgomery, Sarah Tiana, Colleen Wolfe, Suze. Available right here on Roku. The Roku original series, Women's Sports Now, every single Thursday. So, there's that. And nobody's still, unfortunately, the T-shirts and the actual conversation, the one that's going to linger, the one that's actually going to resonate, the one that's actually going to roost, gets consumed by Kelsey Plum. Just gave a shot to Caitlin Clark. Pay us what you owe us. You guys don't have that T-shirts, right? You're not going to show up to work in that.
No,
Thank
not
you.
yet.
No,
But
of
course not.
Thank you.
No.
Maybe in September, we might.
Oh,
What would we need that T-shirt for?
Well, why would you?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, O'Shea Jackson Jr. is the only one who considers this a hostile work environment, right?
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.